on, TV fans? This is Jason Lockard here with you once again, bringing you another Silver Screen Spotlight. Now, usually on Silver Screen Spotlights and Flashback Fridays here on this channel, we basically deal with the classic films, right? So we don't deal with too many of the newer films, but this one is a little bit different. We were sent a new release from Mill Creek Entertainment, basically a newer film. And it stars Sean Patrick Flanery and Jordan Belfi, and it is entitled Nefarious. Okay, so this was interesting. All right, a horror film. Let's go a step further. A Christian horror film. Now, that's not too often that you see something like that. I have seen a couple in my past, but you know, there's not a lot of Christian horror films. It really isn't. But this one was kind of interesting. Okay, now I will say with a lot of films, filmmakers have something they want to say. There's a message they want to get across. That's what filmmaking is. You want to get a point across. You want to get a message across. Okay, and sometimes when you have a message to get across, it comes that the film can come off overtly preachy. So I was a little worried about this one. I really was. I was really worried about this one becoming overtly preachy. And I will say, well, we'll wait on that for just a second. Let's talk about the film actually first. The film stars Sean Patrick Flanery as a serial killer on death row named Edward Wayne Brady. Okay, and it's the final days before his execution, and there's kind of a last-minute court-ordered psychiatric evaluation. So this psychiatrist comes in to talk to the serial killer, Mr. Brady, Edward Wayne Brady, and come to find out, he's not speaking to Edward Wayne Brady. Come to find out, he's speaking to a entity that has overtaken the man known as Edward Wayne Brady. And the entity has a name, but it's not in a language that has been spoken for thousands upon thousands of years, right? And so he says the closest you could get is what they end up calling him, Nefarious. Okay. This is an interesting thing. It basically is the film basically is all in one section, if you will. The majority of the film is in one section. It's in this takes place as they talk. The psychiatrist and the serial killer talk about this and try to evaluate him. It's really an interesting little film, and it has some plot twists and turns, and I found myself really intrigued by it, and actually I felt kind of uneasy at times with the film, because it was really well done, well written. It's a lot of talk, okay, so there's not a lot of action. There's a little bit of action, but it's not a lot of action. It's mostly talk. But the thing is, I will say, Sean Patrick Flanery is pretty amazing as this character here. He has kind of a unique way about him. When he talks, he reminded me a lot, his take of this character reminded me a lot of Heath Ledger's version of the Joker in the Batman trilogy. If you remember the Batman Dark Knight trilogy, the film Batman the Dark Knight, where Heath Ledger plays the Joker, he does a lot of licking his lips and doing this because of the scars. Sean Patrick Flanery does a lot of that, and he talks really low, and and he's continuously licking his lips, and he kind of has that feel. And then what is really interesting, he switches on a dime just so easily. It's like the demon, this entity is talking, and then all of a sudden, boom! Then the man comes forth, and he's bawling, and he's crying, and he's emotional. And then as soon as he's starting to show that emotion, then boom! It snaps, and then he's right back to the entity. I mean, such great acting. Wow. It really draws you in. You really believe that this guy is overtaken by this entity. It's amazing. It's so well done. I'm gonna tell you, this film will stay with me for a long time after watching it. It was so well done. Now, as we said at the beginning, these films a lot of times are overtly preachy. They're trying to get their point across so well and so much that they can become almost nauseatingly preachy. And I have to say, they got their point across, but I don't think it was as nauseatingly preachy as I've seen some films. You get the point, but it's not overtly bad, right? It's not so much. It's not like hitting you over the head with a hammer. It gets the point across, but not in that kind of way. I found myself really intrigued with this film, and really I'm going to be watching it again. That is how interesting I found this film, and especially Sean Patrick Flannery's take on this serial killer. It really does. You end up feeling, when you see the man come forth, you really start to feel for him, because you realize that it's not him, it's this entity. And it's like, wow, and so you actually find yourself really sympathetic towards him. The ending, near the ending, shall I say, was not what I expected. And this is what I loved about this film too. There's a lot of plot twists and turns, okay? Because at the very end, you think it's going to go one way. Then it switches, and you're like, whoa, I didn't expect that. And then you think you've got it figured out at that point, and then boom, then it switches again, and it's like, wow, that is... So it's pretty cool. It was actually a pretty cool little film. Really was. I enjoyed it. I really did. This new Blu-ray release from Mill Creek Entertainment has the filmmaker commentary, the cast commentary. There's an interview with an exorcist, Father Carlos Martins. There's Speak of the Devil featurette, and there's Nefarious Easter eggs. We don't hear too much of Easter eggs in this day and age, but yeah, except for Easter time. That's a physical media joke. Anyway, but yeah, it used to be a lot of Easter eggs on physical media DVDs and different things like that. You'd find a lot of Easter eggs. Well, there's some Easter eggs here found in the film, and they talk about that in this. So that's pretty cool. It comes with a slipcover. Okay, same artwork on the inside. Basically the same artwork on the disc that you find on the cover. Okay. So this is really interesting. The really interesting thing about this too is that I found really interesting was the fact that this is a faith-based film, shall I say, okay? But this faith-based film is rated R, okay? Last time I saw a rated R faith-based film was the Passion of the Christ. You don't find R-rated faith-based films. You just don't find it. But I will put you at ease if you are worried about that. There's not a lot of bad language in it. There is a little bit of smoking. Okay. There is a couple words that maybe some people would find a little offensive, but they're nothing horribly bad or anything. It's just, you know, a couple words that might be a tad offensive to some Christians or some people with high morals. So that's something you have to think about. Mostly what this is because of scary imagery and things like that. So that's what this is. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. If you're looking for an interesting film, a faith-based film that is a little bit beyond the norm, what you're used to, something that's going to take you on a dark journey and bring you out the other side going, wow, I did not expect that. Nefarious may be just the ticket for you. It really is kind of interesting. All right, we have a full written review of Nefarious at the link below. You can get it below there, or you can just go to Classic Cinema Plus and search it out. We want to thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you coming along for this little look at Nefarious. What are your thoughts on Nefarious? Let us know in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I would appreciate it so much. Follow us right here and let us know you appreciate what we do here. It helps out so much to know you enjoy these videos. And yeah, so until we see you next time with another Silver Screen Spotlight or Flashback Friday or something else, this is Jason Lockard reminding you that if you want to see a great film or a TV series, check out a classic. And we'll see you next time for another look at physical media. Have a good one. Bye.